As AI becomes foundational to enterprise operations, it brings along unique set of security, governance, and compliance challenges. Our next panel, Securing AI-Driven Enterprises, addresses these issues head-on.
Okay, hey, good afternoon and welcome to the panel. So my name is Sivakumar Dhakshinamoorthy. I work for Lenovo currently. My key role specifically on the infra side. I'm a PhD researcher on AI. I'm a student, by the way. Okay, so AI governance is one of my passion. That's where my research is going on. Now, I'm happy to be part of this panel. I'm going to be the moderating this particular panel. I know we have a very diverse, specialist from AI related and cybersecurity related folks here. Without further ado, we will get into the detail. I think you are going to get some very specific questions what you are expecting, right? See, now these days is already AI era started. In daily, we are using the AI in multiple forms, right? Again, when it comes to enterprise side, is already decision making is already started. Any of your automated, like your repeated works are being automated. Automation is already going on, right? Of course, AI is also helping on specifically on the innovation area, right? When any new technology comes in, well, it gives a lot of advantages, but of course, it comes with some kind of pitfall, right? So we also, as a CISO, how they are managing, what are the opportunities there for them? Let's understand from each one of our esteemed panels. So before that, I think let's have a very quick intro. Maybe start with Krishna.
Hey everyone, I'm Krishna Pandey. I'm Senior Director at Xerox Cybersecurity with a couple of decades experience in cybersecurity in almost all domains. Thank you. Hi, my name is Muslim Koser. I've been working in Fortinet as Vice President, specifically working towards the product development. Have run my startups earlier, which was acquired by Fortinet 4 years back. Have been doing extensive work on AI as well within the product. So that is something which we have love to do. My core domain is cyber threat intelligence. Is something which I have been doing for last 20-25 years. So that is something which I'm very passionate about. Thanks.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm Shikhil. I'm one of the founders of Astra Security, founder and CEO of Astra Security. We help organizations with doing continuous pen tests using our continuous pen test platform across their cloud environment, be it APIs, DAST for vulnerability for web apps or other multi-cloud environments. One of the top things that I'm super proud of is that last year we uncovered about 2.5+ million vulnerabilities for our customers, which is about 55.
Oh, that's a big number
every day. Yes.
Can you give a big round of applause for it? It's not a easy things to do. Great.
Yep. And I think one of the interesting bits was that we just didn't uncover them, but help them prioritize and fix them also, which I feel is one of the key challenges of a lot of security leaders. And yeah, I've been a pen tester myself, found vulnerabilities all across, and then started Astra 7 years ago. And yeah, that's been my story, and would love to talk about AI because we've been doing internally a lot of research using AI very extensively within our product to automate a lot of work of vulnerability detection and correlation and breach and attack simulation. So yeah, excited about this conversation and sharing my thoughts. Thank you.
Great. Okay, let's dive into the details. Now, AI is the common, specifically when it comes to enterprise. So what are the key challenges you see from CISO perspective? Maybe start with Krishna.
That's a very broad question, but kind of also like CISOs are not normally focused on a domain, right? So looking at an organization holistically, it depends on the kind of, if you just talk about AI, it has become all pervasive, right? Most of the AI applications, if you see, it can be from like writing assistant to code generator to kind of plethora of applications which have come, image generation for marketing. So it depends on the business use case and the context, but the AI governance issue, because I feel that a lot of business units are not kind of, I would say, because of the lack of AI governance, I would say mostly all the business units, right? They will go and like, let's say, procure licenses for Chat GPT for their users. Somebody is using Llama. Somebody is saying that, can we go for this? So what problem we faced 20 years or like 10 years back with the shadow IT? Now there is a problem of shadow AI apps. We don't get visibility across the organization of how many AI applications are currently running in the ecosystem. If you go by a Pitchfork report, they are saying that we will roughly have 12,000 AI applications by 2030. So 12,000 AI applications in your ecosystem where you don't have visibility into the data sources, because if you like see the data, so without a large amount of data, there is no AI, because AI needs the data to train. AI needs data to kind of make decisions for you. So without the entire data governance as a solid foundation, that's where we are struggling with. So everybody is putting AI, okay, let's enable SharePoint integration, OneDrive integration. So AI apps are not alone, but we as a CISO are facing problem with the integrations of AI application into multiple things, which we don't have visibility at this point in time. If you look from a other perspective, the traditional DLPs, again, there is an internal research from Palo Alto Networks that traditional DLPs are not able to have like visibility or for AI-related data. 80% sensitive data is not being detected by them, which is coming from AI.
It's quite high, 80%.
Yeah. And 95% are false positive.
You know, I think CISO know what is the false positive, what is the experience, right? I don't need to explain this.
Yeah, so these are the challenges where you don't have traditional DLP controls or visibility problem. That is what I'm struggling with, like where we didn't have like data classification to begin with, or like a data strategy for entire enterprise in terms of maturity. Now we have another AI infusion into ecosystem to worry about, right?
Great. I think good point. I think you talked about primarily on the data. Shadow AI versus shadow IT, right? Shadow IT is everyone is very familiar. Now what the catching up here, it is a shadow AI. Of course, still we don't have a direct solution for it. We know that, right? We are organization trying to put the regulated version of or approved version of AIs, but still there's a lot of room for them to go and control it. Okay. At the same point, what is your thought, Shikhil?
Sure. So I think when it comes to humans, right, we are really good at creating innovation, and the creators usually do not know what will come out or what that innovation would look like in a few years. This happened, same situation happened with internet when internet was used by US military for their communication and so on. They didn't imagine that internet would become mainstream. So a lot of security protocols and whatnot weren't built with that perspective. Especially when Web 2 came in, a lot of dynamic components, and the Web 2 was largely for like JS first, right? A lot of new type of vulnerabilities and web vectors came into existence. A very similar pattern, according to me, is happening with AI, where OpenAI and these folks actually made AI mainstream. But these are the folks who didn't imagine world of agents. They didn't imagine MCP servers, things which are becoming super common these days. These innovations came from companies who came after that. So I feel on a very, it's the same story, but on a very different level, but where basic protocols of application layer or some amount of network layer are taken care of security-wise, but new set of challenges are going to come up, which probably aren't thought about. So similar to what you're saying, right? AI is all about productivity. I happen to talk to a lot of my customers who are AI first applications and whatnot. So and when I see these marketing teams to what the from a non-technical side, the promise to a customer of AI is everything more. They are saying, I'll make developers more productive. If earlier developers were writing 50,000 lines of code every month, now using these plugins, they're going to be writing probably 100,000 lines. So they are 100% more productive. Similar thing is happening for, let's say, sales, where they're saying that, hey, you are using humans to do a lot of outbound and whatnot. So now I have an AI SDR, which will do outbound on your behalf, find customers, reach out to them, everything. Same as with marketing, where you'll say that, hey, I've got a Lovable, which marketing was dependent previously on engineering teams or like just developers to actually create beautiful websites. But now suddenly that's happening using these tools. CISOs were already very pissed at increasing attack surface area. And imagine what will happen with this. Every department getting more productive means that attack surface area increasing at an unprecedented pace. So I'm super worried about that. And that's one of the key components or key challenges which I see with AI for CISOs to actually possibly lose track of this attack surface where things are going left, right, and center. And interestingly, these AI created web apps happen to have about 50 to 60% more vulnerabilities than the previous one. So as you were getting hand of this OWASP top 10 and whatnot, but suddenly this new code of AI, like generative code, which was trained on data which was not necessarily secure coding practices, is writing more vulnerable code. So yeah, I think attack surface management is one of the top areas which I feel would be a biggest challenge for security teams.
Yeah, well said, Shikhil. I think you are back on to the point. I know that when it comes to practicality point of view, right? I think the hallucination is a problem, and people just relaying whatever the code is giving. It's not always we should go. I mean, while a lot of platforms started coming in with the validated result, but I think we should be watchful about it. I think. Thanks for that.
Yes, right. I mean, a lot of vibe coding for engineers, but there's nothing vibing with the security teams.
Yeah, true. Okay, so let's jump into that another one. I think now AI is so much relying. Organizations have started relying, especially when it comes to enterprise side, right? As a CISO, what kind of hurdle and opportunity you see that as a CISO? Then let me start with Koser.
Okay. So I think you asked two things. What are the hurdles and opportunities? I will go with opportunities first. There are very few. So in terms of opportunities, I think everybody knows much better that in terms of AI, things start happening faster. So you can get too much intelligence out of data. So earlier, if you have a good big data lake, and if you take information out of that, it would take quite a lot of time. Now, if you have a good AI model, you give good data to that, you are going to get good insights. It would be, if that model is very well trained, you might get a very detailed insights and accurate as well. So you would be able to act those things and act fast. So specifically, the speed is something which is very important in terms of opportunity which you're talking about. So if you have good data, you are going to get very good outcome and at a very good speed.
Absolutely.
Which is very, very, and one of the biggest use case of AI which today's world is actually utilizing in. It is also assisting humans, because now I will take this point in both in opportunities as well as risk as well. So in terms of humans, the AI is helping a lot because we definitely have skill gaps. So that is something which is there, which is going to be there. Nobody can kind of move away from that. So human can have an ability to learn to a point, and it depends upon intent and depends upon how much they are able to do. And based upon that thing, they are and security teams are small. Right. With a small security team, limited human capability, if you augment that with AI, you can get very good desired results. That is something which is very important as long as you are able to take things out in terms of opportunities.
Great.
Now if you talk about hurdles, I have a long list there. So I will start with the again same point with the human angle, because although what Shikhil was talking about, that it definitely increased productivity. It increases a multifold in terms of if you it gives you code, it gives you a 200% outcome. But on other hand, it also is making human more dumb, right? Because if you are giving every code here and there to AI and it is churning out good piece of code, okay, it might be good for products at this stage, because we still have some intelligence left in humans, which we might not have 5 years, 6 years down the line. If we are going to heavily depend on AI, then all the intelligence which will be left with AI only, not with humans, is what my
I completely agree with you. I know that. How many of your students here? Can you just raise hands? Okay. You are a student. Yeah, I'm a student. Okay. So my daughter, I'm just adding the point. Since you said this, it's a very important point. Okay. From school time onwards, the kids and the college, they're all using the GPT and all various form of GPT. I completely agree on it. Sometimes I question them. Why can't you write yourself? That will take longer times. Yeah. I will just give it to the GPT. I will modify. I will humanize. Is it true that there's something called humanize we can able to do? While we agree, the productivity definitely goes, it's going to improve. But the thinking power we are losing. I think that's perfect the point, Koser. Thank you.
No, I contradict. I think that is a governance issue. So cause you are not able to do good parenting, this is a governance issue.
That means you do not even give it to them, option for them to do the work, or it is saying that you give a limited access.
Look, technology you can't stop from evolution. So the idea, there was a very famous proverb, they say that if there is a time for idea has to come, it will come. You can't stop technology from evolution. What we can do is definitely the governance, and it has been always the same case. Technology comes first, the standards, the governance, the compliance, security all catches up. So it is always a catch-up game. I think professors already have some kind of way to validate if this assignment has been coming out of a chat.
Yeah, they're smart. They have a different tool to identify whether you use it or not. So be careful, huh?
But the technology, if I see on the bright side, right? I believe that the AI has been a great equalizer. For example, if a student has to get a very subject matter expertise on, let's say, quantum computing, to get an access to such a professor of that caliber, earlier they can't even get like 10% of or any breadcrumbs, right? Like if you see how we started our career in cybersecurity 20 years back, there was no Coursera, no LinkedIn, no tutorials on YouTube. It was like a very close network of people and like mentoring in person, or like I think SANS was there at that time. So it was very kind of a less, I would say, source of learning. So I believe that AI is going to be a great equalizer when the people who have desire to grow and learn fast or outpace, they will have someone by their side where they are not limited by their, I would say, constraints. It is just the desire to learn. And same thing will happen with MSMEs, right? Like our small startup. Now they have similar access to technology. And coming back to your question, right? Like what is the opportunity and what is the challenge? Both are scale. AI gives you the scale where a small enterprise now who has to hire like 10 developers to write code, if they are able, maybe they will do it with 4 developers. So the scale is the kind of opportunity here. But scale is the problem because now you have AI generated code which is equivalent to like a end-to-end developed software, but who is going to security review for that? The scale it is catching up in terms of like you have the like good opportunity in front of you where you can do anything faster, you can ship faster, you can deploy faster, you have SME expertise as a kind of as a faster. But now the security and governance has to catch up. Like you need to have a very specific DLP for AI, which is visibility across your data sources, across integrations, across I would say in fact the entire data life cycle. Apart from that, even the shadow ones, right? How you are going to manage. And that at the same, so that is where I feel the scale is both hurdle and opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I think great point.
I think we should meet outside.
I know points of view always will vary. I think thanks, Koser and Krishna, for your valuable point. So let's move to the other one. I think I'll come back. I know that you are not completed. We will take it further on it. You say big list you have already. Okay. So when it comes to AI, most of them are using it AI for security, right? How many of them have really thought or thinking how you safeguard your AI model itself? So that's actually the red teaming guys always know that what is the impact because the decisions are made based on the output given by the model. But how sure you are ensuring that the models are there, right? What is the challenge? How we can be able to protect it? I think maybe I can again go with Koser.
So I think in terms of security for AI, the best thing is to look at security for anything else. Today, if you talk about your network security, your web app security, there are some checks and balances. You do assessments for that. You understand vulnerabilities and you take care of things on that fashion. So I think as the AI space is evolving, we have the other frameworks which are coming up. There is already OWASP AI top 10 is there. There are NIST framework is there. MITRE has also come up with a framework. So idea is that the principles of security does not change. The way of doing security remains same. Only the variables are something which are changing over here. So use although it will take some time to mature, these standards, these best practices, it will take some time to mature. But idea is that we have to start following these things and making sure that the compliance is something which although a lot of people don't say too highly about compliance in a lot of organizations, they do the compliance for the sake of compliance, but in if you talk about things in AI, the risks are much higher because you are risking your whole data set in terms of even for training or whatever it is. So and I think just before this panel, I was sitting over here and they mentioned that there'll be like number of AI models which will be there. So as these things are increasing, as these things are moving ahead, we have to make sure that the security is also like that. So security of data at rest, security of data at in motion, same thing, either with AI or data is being trained wherever it is. So security is something which have to be taken care of. Although the logic might will be the same the way we are doing.
Absolutely. I think adding the point, I think before I come to you, Krishna, I think I have very specific questions, Shagil. I will come to you. Before that, let's continuation of this. Lot of POCs are happening at the corporation, right? In corporates. Now these days is multiple, before they're buying, there will be the kind of POC. When it comes to POC, what I have seen, they always give the functionality of the AI. They'll give some input, what you require, the output properly coming, it's fine. That's what they're looking at. But I think from security lens, from CISO point of view, is it the model is really secure? That also they need to look at it, right? I think now the awareness has come. What is your take on in the continuation of how you can safeguard the AI models, Krishna?
So, and that is the worry of, I think, we have a lot of companies which have started like as an AI first company, right? And I think like this question came to me like 3-4 years back where one of my very close friend, he works on HFT segment, high frequency trading. and he has developed some algos, right?
Yeah.
And algos are the money-making thing, real money-making in this case.
Is he still making money?
Yeah. Very successful now. So the point was like, hey, how do I protect my machine learning models? Like actually, which goes more into infrastructure security, like how you will kind of protect any of your crown jewel from like something like adversarial training, right? Where people are trying to extract the machine learning model not by hacking your infra, but just trying to do with inference, right? So I will give a lot of inputs to your machine learning model, and I will try to kind of capture the essence of the ML model, right? By it is more like a side channel attack, which used to happen in a lot of previously, right, with processors and other things. So if you see from that lens, it is more, I would say, from an AI is, we tend to forget that AI is in the end is software. So it has to also go through all the software engineering disciplines, like where we have like quality assessment and like QA functions, right, for functional testing and whatnot. You have to make sure that the output which is coming from your AI systems, you have already tested to make sure that if there is an anomaly, it will flag, right? There is no kind of like, I will again go with the zero trust, right? Like trust the AI, but verify, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to have those guardrails in place where you have done adversarial training of the machine learning model. You have made sure that your data in transit is protected. You have to make sure definitely that if you, from an infrastructure point of view, the only person who need access, very specifically in terms of AI, where the integrations are there. I was talking to the OpenAI folks last week, and we had kind of good conversation in terms of RBAC, right? Like, for example, if you have shared drive and it is shared to, let's say, 10 people and not the entire company, they're going to look at like OAuth based kind of verification to make sure that, hey, if I am giving a prompt to my copilot, only the people who have access to those documents will get that insights and not everyone else. So how are you going to draw the trust boundary while you're operating with AI, right? So all these controls are evolving, compliance APIs are evolving. How are you going to get that insight? As I said, it is again catching up, but there is not one answer. It is always defense in depth. You have to draw your trust boundaries. You have to even use micro-segmentation. Like if your AI thing is kind of compromised, I'm not sure how many know about the recent CV 2025-32711. It is a zero-click exploit from Microsoft M365. I can send one email if with a crafted payload, and you don't have to do anything at your end. And they are able to exfiltrate data outside your organization. It is patched now, just last week. Okay. So now there is a zero-click exploit involving Microsoft Copilot, M365, and those sort of things are still evolving. So as I said, it is always defense in depth which is going to protect you. There is no one single, and don't put all of your trust on the AI. AI is just a software system. It can go wrong.
Absolutely.
So that's my take.
Yeah, thanks. I know there's a couple of points you are explained, the adversarial training and the micro segmentation, your access control. These are all very key points. So now let me jump into another very, very key important one. This question is very specific to Sahil. So not all the organizations are developing on their own model for them, right? I think there could be a limited capacity or capability for them. They wanted to buy from the experts, right? The vendor suppliers are doing it. But when you go and get it from the off-the-shelf model or your requirement specific, obviously you are trusting that vendor, you are taking it up. When you're going through any third-party vendor, obviously there has to be, from security angle, you need to look at it. So how organization need to be careful, how you vet the vendor, how you can contractually protect the organization. Shikhil, what is your take on this?
Sure. So I think before I answer this, I'll probably touch a very interesting thing that what Krishna mentioned, right? And when we're talking about AI red teaming, because we've been doing a lot of research around red teaming LLMs as well as AI. And of course, AI is very blanket term that we use. We've got generative AI, we've got agentic AI, then we've got MCP servers. There are different variations of AI, how AI is being consumed itself. We built a very interesting mental model on how to actually hack specifically these bot type applications, which are more generative in nature. We told our pen testers and security research team that, they presented a research, and then we actually concluded that we have to think of AI as this pre-teen kid, which is very, very sharp. But at this point, you can sway them on either the dark side or the good side. And the parents probably haven't told this kid as a kid like that, you don't have to take chocolates from strangers. So you have to actually converse or interact with AI in that fashion, and it leaks things left, right, and center. It's gotten that capability. And similar to what Koser was saying, all the web or other interfaces, how AI is being consumed, all those attacks are anyways relevant. There is already a injection attack in AI, which happens very similar to a file upload attack on web apps. You can upload a PDF and, have your codified prompts and whatnot, and however you want to actually get AI to act based on that uploaded PDFs, commands in that PDF. So very interesting times ahead on AI and red teaming also. Onto the question that you asked, vendors and how do CISOs and enterprises see these vendors? I think there are two folds to this. First, your existing vendors, you need to actually review them from the scratch right now, because these people, you have probably contracts with them since last 1 year or 10 years, but they've asynchronously started pushing AI first features into their applications, which you are already consuming. And you do not have any contract in place to ensure that, the features or the models they are using, what is in sync with your organization. So in that case, it becomes super important that you take a stock of the already existing tool stack that you've been using. And that tool stack has ended up releasing AI first features. And this is beyond the Microsoft and Google infrastructure. I'm talking more about smaller vendors that these organizations use. This is first. Second, especially after what has happened in the last couple of months, geopolitical angle comes into the picture. From where are these models originating? Who's creating them? Where is the data being stored? Is it geopolitically logged? Because there's no control over what AI can manipulate or even can be trained to get what kind of data it can trick your employees to actually feed into them. So considering that geopolitical risk becomes a very key challenge. And on this front, I don't know if a lot of people saw this, but just last week in Apple's event, they released models which are hosted on iPhone itself. The data does not go on the cloud. The models will stay on iPhone, and they will process all the AI magic from within this thing, from the device itself. I feel this is future, because every just like SaaS, right? AI is kind of tracing that. Following that trace a little, where how SaaS started with on-premise and then it became actually on cloud. But here it will have the other way around, where AI started with cloud first, but now a lot of these big players also, I foresee, will start actually giving their on-premise variants, which ensure that data doesn't go out, because they knew this is going to happen. So all the data they required for training, however they wanted to take, they've already taken. So now they are actually in that phase where they can localize and still have not a lot of loss if that organization chooses.
Absolutely, very, very key point. I think most of the organizations are working towards AIPC hybrid model, because data, they don't want it to send out because there is a risk associated, right? Based on the level of kind of data what you're having actually. Before we wrap up, I have one final question. Maybe I will go with Koser. The security team is traditionally come up with they're managing pretty well. But AI related threats are something new. AI itself for last 2.5 years only, it is specifically in this area I'm saying here. how are they need definitely a additional skill. How are we developing skill? I think that is going to help even our, the entry level professional. They can able to get into what are the way how we can able to tackle this AI related risk and the threats.
Yeah, the only one thing which I would say is that the speed in which these things have changed in last 3 or 4 years, it is very difficult for humans to pick it up. Uh, so because thing is that if you see 3 years back, 4 years back, we were talking something else. Today we are talking something else. And I think just before this talk, we were talking about different AI models where LLM will be obsolete. And we are talking about AGIs. And we are talking about human replacement models. So, and these things are happening actually very, very fast. So I think for the people who are students right now who are going to come into this domain, it is very important for them to ensure that whatever they are learning and building, it is going to change very fast. You have to be adaptable to that change. Even for the companies, I think what Shikhil was mentioning recently was that today what is happening is every company have to talk about AI. Today we are having two back-to-back conversation about AI in two different sessions.
Absolutely.
Over here. So everybody has to talk, and that is creating sort of pressure on them to deliver something. Whether they are ready or not, nobody knows. So as he was mentioning that, okay, if you talk about big players, Apple, Microsoft, Google, they have been doing their research for years, and based upon that thing, they have built those models. But for the smaller organizations who are under pressure to show something on AI, what models they are coming up and what models they are bringing, there is no way to test. So we need to have people who are qualified enough to be able to differentiate between a kind of a very matured model which is being used in the organization, or somebody who is coming up with just the buzzword AI, and then I have something on AI, I want to show it to you, I will use your data. And so it becomes very difficult for anybody to...
That's the risk also, right? There's nobody just like that to go ahead. You see, AI, you know that, right? AI is not only for the good. It was for the bad, right? The adversarial side, they take it heavily.
We have not discussed that.
Yeah, I know that's a different topic and big topic. Shahil, what is your take, and how do we tackle the new AI threats? What are the skills they need to develop?
So comes down to that. You have to, I think, what you guys were discussing about how the controversial take around humans becoming dumber and all that. So my take on that is, as the world is progressing, the future, maybe in the next 50, 100 years, the haves and have-nots would be people who have access to this stuff and they're able to do and build stuff using it, and people who are just consumers. Because in today's world, I mean, again, a controversial take, but I feel the biggest drug in this world is algorithms of a lot of these big tech who are social media platforms, which force you to spend 3 hours, 4 hours in this, which eventually is making your mind a little slow. It's less working than you are working in sleep. So it means that there'll be the biggest have and have-nots in going forward would be people who are able to create stuff using AI and the ones who aren't. So my advice to students here would be to make sure that you're on the have one side, at least for 20 years of your career, which, by the way, I feel careers are also shortening in span over time. So yeah.
Okay. I read somewhere recently, if you are not paranoid, you are not giving enough attention. So I think I could not able to recollect who said it, but I think very well when it comes to AI. I think any final take few words on the skill side, Krishna, before we wrap up?
Yeah, I will again go against the tide, right? So there is a FOMO for sure, right? With every technology which comes, right? For example, if there is a Tesla car which comes with autonomous driving, there is definitely a paranoia between the drivers. Like, hey, if the cars are self-driving, what happens to this lakhs of drivers we have in India, right? So same thing is with the AI. AI is not going to take away jobs. I would say that in today's distracted world, as Shikhil was saying, right, you need to have the clarity of thinking. You need to decide where you want to become an SME. The the world has moved on where you had 20 years to figure out, or probably like 21 years once you graduated out of college, and then you decided your career. It's kind of done, right? My daughter, she is like in third grade, and they have a extracurricular of AI. So, so the thing is, we now robotics and AI are gone to like third grade, right? And that is the competition, right? When these guys turn teens, and then you are competing with them. So having a clarity on which domain you want to go, and then use the AI to build that kind of, I would say, first learn what AI can give you, and then have the creative mindset, right? The only thing where AI and humans are currently both are coexisting, because AIs can't think, right? It is being trained on data. It doesn't have its own original creativity or thinking. So that is, as a human, we have, and we should not lose on that, right? If I have to say, I saw someone ranting saying that, hey, I don't want AI to make my job easier. I want to do cooking, gardening, like AI should do that, so that I have, like, I can go and do painting or some creative thing. If AI is going to do everything creative, then who is going to do other work, right? So that sort of thing is there. But as I said, focus on upskilling yourself fast, have a very focused career towards which domain you want to go, and then train yourself. AI is definitely going to impact, but those who are like allergic to AI.
Yeah, thanks, Krishna. I think whether you like it or not, AI going to remain. I think it's better to catch up. Rather later, you can feel that I could have done it, right? That's the one. I know that it is a little. We took some additional 3-4 minutes, but it is worth giving. We started like where it has been used. What are the challenges? CISO point of view. What are the the opportunities available for you to do it, and how you safeguard the AI models, and also what are the key skills needed for you. The need are our right. We discussed all about how we can able to safeguard the enterprise as well as safeguarding AI models, and also we need to be also where we can able to go towards. If you that like it or not, we need to get into this. As Shikhil said, I think paranoid. You have to paranoid, right? I think otherwise you'll not able to learn something new, right? Otherwise you'll be settled down, right? Everything is well go, right? So good. Thank you very much for sharing all of your expertise. Thank you again for your time. Thank you, audience, for listening to us. Thank you. Thank you so much.